Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at Oblivion Song Book 3 by Robert Kirkman. It has a 272 page count and the cover price of $39.99. It's the epic conclusion of the story, so let's get right into this hardcover review. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button before we get into this book. Today we're getting a look at Oblivion Song Book 3. I'm going to go into it as spoiler-free as possible. Great cover art from Lorenzo De Felici here. You get a little synopsis on the back of the book, and on the side you get this great Oblivion Song logo and whatnot, the creators listed. Let's open this bad boy up and just check out the binding real quick. It is sewn binding, and it's a beautifully made book, man. Image does a great job when they make their hardcovers. There's absolutely zero gutter loss throughout this thing, which just adds to the reading experience, which is very great. You get these bookend pages here with this little design here with the purple and blue. You get the title page with Oblivion Song. Then you get a list of the creators. You got Robert Kirkman, the writer, the artist Lorenzo De Felici, and then you got Annalisa Leone, the colorist, and Russ Bruton, the letterer on this one, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been the creative team throughout all three of these volumes. This book does collect the final issues of Oblivion Song, so you're going to get issues 25 through 36 on this, and it's broken up into two different chapters. So like the first book had chapters 1 and 2, the second volume had 3 and 4, and then this is 5 and 6, but you also get this extra bonus story in here as well. So getting into the story of this a little bit, in the ending of book 2, we had Director Ward. He put in this motion into effect that allowed no more transferences into Oblivion, and what ended up happening was Nathan Cole, our hero of the story, I guess you could say, ended up getting stuck in Oblivion. So he's been here the last 3 years. He's made some friends with some of these Cathal people, and he also has like his own little creature that he rides around on like a horse. He made this sick lightning sword while he was there. So he's just been chilling with these Cathal people, just learning their ways really. He like is fluent in their language now. And it goes into a little bit more throughout this book of like what the reasoning is for these alien people coming to their world trying to take over. So like it ends up turning out that there's like a fungus that has been taking over their land and making it uninhabitable for them. So they're trying to go to Earth now to just take over, and really this whole thing leads up to this war in the end between them. And it's a really awesome story. It's kind of predictable in a way, I guess you would say. I did kind of feel like where this was going throughout reading it, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it all ended very well, and it was a good story. The artwork throughout it is really enjoyable and just colorful and vibrant. It's just that certain style, kind of like how he has in Firepower and stuff as well. So you get some great battles too. You get this one cool asshole alien creature that Nathan Cole and him actually duel with later in the story, which is a pretty sick moment. But these aliens come to Earth, they want to take over, and they end up taking over different parts of the world. Like I believe it's like Los Angeles they take over, Hong Kong, several other places, and then they're just transferring their people there to try and take over the Earth. So here is where you have Nathan roll up, and he's on the sick creature there, and he's challenging this cool alien dude to a duel. The Gozan way or whatever, because he's learned all this stuff. So if he beats this alien in this duel right here, he will retain like the other Cthulhu people, and they will kind of be like his boys. This volume did do a good job of expanding on the characters and the backstory of these Cathal people, which I thought was interesting. That was probably one of my favorite parts about this book. I mean, you started out being the faceless men they were called, to turning out that they're like these Cathal people, and they have like this Gozan style, and you're like meeting different kinds of these alien people. There's actually like legit characters that kind of like are in it quite a bit throughout this book. And you learned out, why they are coming to Earth to try and take over, and you learn more about this fungus that's been ruining their home planet, and then you'll end up actually finding out later in the story of how the humans are actually what saves the fungus or helps the fungus from stop spreading in their alien land. There's some actually funny parts in this book too, like the Nathan's wife, when he comes home, he finds an alien in her house. She has this alien roommate now, and they just watch like the one of those housewives show together and all the time, and he's always like referencing situations compared to the housewife show that he apparently fucking loves, which is pretty hilarious. Can you imagine just like living on your alien planet and it's just like disintegrating from this fungus, and you end up getting to like Earth and to a place that you can actually inhabit and like survive and live, and this lady's just making you watch these terrible housewife shows all the time, as your people are dying and like a war is waging and shit like that. Is pretty hilarious. So it moves on later into the book, and you get this crazy battle with this war going on between the Cthulhu and the like armies of the United States, and actually all over the world for that matter. I won't spoil anything, but then it gets into a little like celebration here, and something happens, and then it goes into like a little backstory. You get a little bit of Nathan Cole and his brother Ed growing up in a bunch of situations that kind of led to how like each path they took in life. Ed is kind of like a bum in a way. He's kind of just he never really amounted to anything, and Nathan Cole became like this big thing, and like now he's like an absolute hero. So all this leads up pretty good. It's a pretty mild ending for a Robert Kirkman book, I'll say. Even this whole story altogether, man, it's pretty mild compared to everything else that he does. I mean, Firepower and this are probably his most mild books that I've read so far, but they're both very enjoyable, man. I mean, Robert Kirkman always kills it with story, and that's like really one of his best traits as a writer, I would say. Like he really ties you into this book, and he gets you involved with the characters, and I felt that way throughout this entire story of Oblivion Song. In the extras, you'll get some character designs by Lorenzo De Felici, and like Kirkman talking back and forth of what he like wants and kind of the crazy shit that he's asking of him to design. You get a bunch of the covers collected in the back of the book here. Huge fan of this Oblivion Song series. I think it wrapped up well in this book 3. I know there's a film adaptation coming soon with Jake Gyllenhaal, so it'll be cool to check that out at some point. Let me know what you think about this book down in the comments, and as always, thank you for watching. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Organic Priced Books, the best place to get your omnibus and other collected editions. Super fast shipping, bulletproof packaging, and amazing customer service. Use promo code DROCK to get $2 off your purchase at organicpricebooks.com. Join the OPB family today.